don't mean to pick on the presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church. But let me return to what she said in Australia. She asked, who or what needs healing around here? Who's still enslaved? Who needs cleansing, release, and restoration to community? Immigrants? Aboriginal people? Those with AIDS or the mentally ill? I'm still quoting. Who isn't welcome at our tables? Atheists? People who come from the other end of the theological spectrum? I bet we know in Texas what end of the theological spectrum she's not talking about. She wants us to, and I'm quoting again, wade into the river. Even if, like the Brisbane, the river in the territory where she was speaking, it does have a few bull sharks in it. It's past time to go swimming, she says. And then what? Well, we don't know what's next. She hasn't made it clear. I want to compliment the presiding bishop for reminding us, by inference at least, that God made the immigrant, the Aborigine, the AIDS sufferer, with the same attention He made all of us. And He calls us all to His table. On His terms. He calls us on His terms, not ours. We don't run this show called the world. We don't run it. We don't change the rules of membership in the human race and the Christian faith just because this writer or that one, that teacher, that theological seminary professor, that bishop, that TV personality, or social activist, or politician, claim to see something we've been missing all this time. Like for example, the beauty of same-sex marriage as opposed to the modes and the forms imparted to us by the earliest Christian witness. There's nothing wrong with inspecting the claim itself, so long as the standards for judging it square with all that God has told us about Himself, and about His Son, and about the power of the Spirit, and about our fallenness, the desolation of us all, rich, poor, male, female, American, Somalian. Doesn't matter. Without His love and protection, without His love and protection, that desolateness is the most exquisite form of desolation known to the human spirit. Far greater than any that the human race has the power to inflict on fellow humans. Far greater than the plight of any whom Mrs. Jeffrey Shorey might define as the other. So we come to the table, not for a group hug, but because we're summoned by one whose name appears just once in the presiding bishop's text. That's the name of Jesus. Very God of very God, begotten, not made. God incarnate, man divine, who said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And of whom it was said, "So God loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, to the end that all that believe in Him should not perish, but have everlasting life." No, the revelation of God is not a shadow. Constantly moving, changing shapes, flitting about the landscape, and assuming a different look every few minutes in every place, and according to our changing moods. It's a rock. It's a rock. How well we ought to know it. Here's Moses. He is the rock His way is perfect. Just and right is He. Thou art my strong rock in my castle, said the psalmist. They drank of that spiritual rock that followed them. This is Paul to the Corinthians. And that rock was Christ. Why would you want to change or update that story? Reupholster it. Give it new twists and turns and spins and variations consistent with the opinion of the world? Why would anyone? It's the oldest story in the book. The church's story. And you better believe it. Thank you very much.
Do you have questions? He's agreed to answer questions for a while.
Yeah. Most surely will. Anything you want to ask?
Bill, would you comment on the Florida pastor's plan to burn 6
Well, that's, you know, there are many dimensions to that whole story. I heard this afternoon, the Florida pastor, he was asking about the guy who's going to burn the Qurans on September 11th. Well, he's not going to do it now, he says. I think he got the idea it wasn't going to do him any good, no matter how much joy and satisfaction he got out of it. Let me make a contextual remark about that story. And it's this, that the growing presence of Islam and the ascendancy of radical Islam in many parts of the world today, and the spread of Islam as an evangelistic religion corresponds, in my own view, to the retreat of the Christian vision from front and center. This is to say that man requires a concrete understanding of who he is and what he's to do about it. Islam gives that understanding to people. These people may be rather strange in their personal outlooks, but they're looking for something that is concrete and understandable. When the Christian religion does this again, and it will do it, I have no doubt. I'm confident that we're very close to a turnaround in the descending arc of Christianity. But when we do that, then there will not be this kind of thank you very much. When that happens, then I think that the news will get abroad that Christians know who they are, they know why they are, they know where they're going, and they know who's going with them. They know whom they want to go with, which is everybody. And that kind of a faith will offer such extraordinary competition to a radical faith, at least it's radical in so many of its expressions, like 21st century Islam, that I think we'll leave them in the dust. I don't think we have to blow them up. I think we have to out-teach them, out-preach them, out-witness, and I think all it takes is Christians devoted to that task. I don't think I answered your question directly, Bob, but I wanted to give it, I wanted to put it in context. And that's the context as I see it.